Hello, everyone. I am Dr. August de Oliveira, and I wanted to talk about using Agentic AI in dentistry. OpenClaw is kind of all the rage, but a lot of people don't know what it is. So, I wanted to go over pretty basic on what it is, how I use it. I'll do a separate video where I'll actually set up a bot and give a bot its personality and start teaching it about dentistry. But for now, I just wanted to go over the basics. A little bit about me. I'm August. I'm a general dentist in LA. I've been involved in digital dentistry for about 22 years, starting with CIREC, getting into guided implant surgery, later 3D printing, photogrammetry, digital hybrids, you name it. And the latest thing I'm into is AI in the dental office. So I use AI every day, and I love it. And I love the fact with OpenClaw, I can actually make my own AI. So cool stuff. So let's just kind of put down some basics so we know sort of basic terminology. So in dentistry, we've sort of been introduced to AI years and years ago. So if you used exocad or if you used CIREC, you used a very basic form of AI called machine learning. And machine learning is basically pattern recognition. So you give CIREC a crown prep on tooth number 30. It knows the shape of a molar. It knows to make it sort of touch the next door neighbor teeth or touch the opposing tooth. It's really dumbed down AI, and it can't necessarily learn without a human helping it. If you've used Overjet or if you've used Pearl, you've used something that uses deep learning or neural nets. Basically, you feed the AI some data, you reward it when it does something right, and say bad job when it does something wrong. And over time, the AI begins to learn patterns and it can detect things as well. We all use generative AI. If you aren't, you probably should. That's just asking ChatGPT or asking Claude or Gemini questions. And the chat bot will basically think about what you told it and give you some answers, and it's up to you to sort of execute them. So I'm going to talk about Agentic AI. Agentic AI is basically taking ChatGPT or Claude and making your own bot. But instead of just giving you advice or making a little picture for you, you can hook this bot up to your website and it can start posting things for you. You can hook it up to Facebook and Instagram as well. You can have it answer your phones. You can have it talk to patients. You can have it do treatment plan presentations for you, do your chart notes. So basically, rather than asking ChatGPT or Claude something and you doing it, basically you ask your bot and your bot will do it. Physical AI is robotics or self-driving. So physical AI can also be answering the phones. So we have lots of bots in dentistry like Yobi or RevenueWell that answer your phones, talk to your patients, and schedule patients. I'm super excited for the Optimus robots and using robots in my practice. And I use full self-driving on my Tesla every day. So physical AI is getting better and better. Autonomous generative AI kind of doesn't really roll off the tongue, but basically this is sort of superhuman AI. So right now we sort of talk to an expert using ChatGPT or Claude. Autonomous generative AI will be free thinking. It'll think across different specialties. It'll be able to generate video and everything and just be smarter than you. And so we're hoping for AGI to make its way out by the end of 2026, most likely 2027. But when that happens, basically, agentic AI and generative AI will pretty much go away. And you'll just have this super genius in your computer doing everything for you. So, what can I do with OpenClaw? That's the big question. People are like, oh, okay, cool, but what can it do? Very simple. You can have it answer your phones. So, you can have it answer phones from patients. You can have it text patients. We already use outgoing text reminders, but this is sort of a text reminder with a brain. It can take after hours calls. It can give sort of basic dental advice and schedule the patient for you. Clinical Agent, I currently use it to write my chart notes. There's lots of great services out there where they can do chart notes for you. Mine does it for free, so I use it all the time. I'm developing a way of feeding it photos and x-rays and treatment plans and having it come out with a beautiful PDF with all the data per tooth and recognizing teeth and knowing that this is a photo that was flipped of tooth number 30 because I have an x-ray and tooth number 30 is the only one with a DO amalgam. So it'll kind of know what we know when we get images mixed up. Lots of current companies out there that post EOBs and look up patients' information, but you got to pay for it. So lots of people are developing OpenClaw bots that check insurance and submit insurance for you. Marketing is where I think it's very easy to get an ROI with your bot. Mine currently generates blog, Instagram, and Facebook posts daily and monitors my site's SEO. And it's constantly looking at ways to improve, looking daily at what the search terms are out there and making sure my website has that verbiage so that people can search and find me. There's lots of people out there. And by the way, if you go on Facebook, OpenClaw for Dentists is the group we post, and everyone's kind of posting their little projects. So you'll see lots of these use cases there. I have a buddy of mine who every morning his bot goes into his practice management software and lets him know how his practice is doing. So how many new patients he got, what production was, what collection was, all the KPIs that are important to you. There's lots of projects out there. I haven't tackled it yet, but looking at ordering and finding the best prices, whether it's through the big box dental suppliers or smaller dental suppliers online, making basically a list and making sure that you've got enough. Maybe you are always ordering composite, so it kind of knows when the next re-up is and asks you, hey, do we need more A2 Ivoclar composite? And it'll do that for you. Treatment coordinator agent, patient reactivation, recall notices, unscheduled treatment. Very easy stuff for this bot to look through and text your patients and get them in. And then finally, collections and overall accounting. If you have a pay by text service or an online payment service, the bot can look at balances that haven't been paid and find the patients and ask them to pay their balance. So currently, if you're using AI, if you're using chat or you're using Claude, the way things work is, let's say for whatever reason I want bigger icons on my desktop and I don't know how to make bigger icons on my desktop. So I would ask chat. Chat would say, hey, do these things. I would physically do them, either right or wrong, and then the icons would be bigger on my screen. So a very simple example of using OpenClaw, you just ask OpenClaw to do it, and it'll go in and do it for you. So again, we're not asking chat and having to do the work. We just ask our bot, and our bot does the work for us. So what are the components of OpenClaw? So first off, you have to start with a large language model. And if you're not familiar with LLMs, it's a fancy word for ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, DeepSeek. There's lots and lots of AI brains out there. So again, the bot is not intelligent in and of itself. It uses an LLM for its brain. So you got to pick one. And I'll talk later on about API and monthly payments. The body, there's lots of ways you can use this. The take-home message is you want a computer that's always on. And OpenClaw was developed on the Mac platform. Just because it's Mac doesn't mean it can't control PCs, either through Windows networking or Splashtop or different sort of login and control your computer type programs. But you're going to want to start with a computer that's dedicated. It's going to need a lot of RAM. So a lot of people do like the Mac Minis. They're super affordable. I think I paid about $600 for mine. It's always on. It has what's called unified RAM. So between the CPU and the GPU, the RAM is shared. So you're going to start with a dedicated computer. And NVIDIA just announced that they're making chips that will be able to run AI locally on Windows PCs. So if you're a diehard Windows user and are afraid of Macs, those should be coming out pretty soon. You would install OpenClaw onto that Mac and then communicate with that Mac through a messaging app. So you can use iMessage, you can use WhatsApp. I use one called Telegram. I'm going to be switching to Slack. The thing about Slack is Slack Enterprise is HIPAA compliant. Telegram and WhatsApp are not. So I don't chat with my bot about anything patient specific. Pretty vague stuff, like I say, hey, write me a chart note for number 19 DO, super deep. Nothing that says that John Smith had number 19 DO. But I want to be able to communicate with it with patient-specific data. So switching to Slack Enterprise is probably a good idea. $100 a month, though. And then basically you teach your bot, or the internet teaches your bot how to interact with software. You can send it PDFs, you can send it a link, you can install the software on the Mac or give it access to your passwords. And I know that's really scary. So, you want to be selective. There is a software called 1Password where you can selectively give your bot passwords and have it saved and encrypted on there. So it maybe doesn't have access to EagleSoft, but it does have access to your Instacart or your Facebook account. So you can give it specific passwords rather than logging into everything and just giving it free reign. So one of the big things on the OpenClaw for Dentists website that we're really kind of concerned with, and it's kind of a bottleneck for us, is HIPAA. And so there's a couple things that need to be met before you can have your bot interface with patient data. I'm not there yet, so my bot doesn't actually log in or talk to EagleSoft or do anything with actual patient data. It's all been sort of anonymized as screenshots or just very vague terms. But you need something called a BAA, which is a business associate agreement, that basically between the LLM, like be it Chat or be it Anthropic, that they won't use your patient data for training. So when I talk to Chat and I say, hey, John Smith needed a crown, that goes up to the cloud and that can be shared with other bots for training. So we don't want that. So we need to have a HIPAA compliant BAA with that LLM. It's a lot of letters. But basically, if you want it, you can get it. Anthropic will do it if you spend $50,000 a year. and OpenAI will also do it. It's still a lot. It's still like at least $1,000 a month that you're going to be spending. So a lot of us are looking towards local models that don't send any data. Gemini kind of released a version that is a large language model that is HIPAA compliant that we're looking at, and all these different sub-agents that may be HIPAA compliant. You want to make sure everything's encrypted, so use File Vault on your Mac. Everything's encrypted when it goes up to the cloud, and everything that's on your hard drive is encrypted as well. Whenever I interact with my bot, I make sure that I don't ever share PHI. But if you do, there are ways in which you can encrypt that before it goes to the cloud. But again, local models seem to be where it's at when it comes to HIPAA. The drawback of using a local model is that when you do, you're going to need a computer that has an insane amount of RAM. So you're looking at, instead of a $600 Mac Mini, you're looking at something that's $5,000 or $6,000. So what do you need besides OpenClaw to make things go? So you need a account, either with Chat or Gemini or Claude or whatever LLM you're using. Personally, I use ChatGPT Pro. It's $100 a month, pretty much unlimited tokens. So I haven't run out yet, and I use it a lot every day. If you want to go the Anthropic route, you have to go with what's called API access, where you pay per token. And I blew through like $200 worth of tokens in 3 days. So I'm not a fan of Anthropic. I use ChatGPT. Sort of Chat 5.5 is the brain. There's something called Codex that writes code that a lot of people really like. So ChatGPT Codex is sort of together. Obviously a Mac Mini. If you're starting out like me, a lot of people are like, well, maybe I should just go for the more expensive Mac Studio and spend $2 or $3 grand. And they're worried about losing that $600 to the Mac Mini. First off, it's really hard to get a Mac Mini now. So definitely get a Mac Mini if you can get it. And then if you feel that you need to do more, keep the Mac Mini and just spawn another bot. So you'll have 2 bots. One bot maybe will handle your chart notes, and the other bot will be working on stuff. So it's not a bad idea to start with a Mac Mini and work your way up. And I suck at typing. So I use a software called Whisper Flow. It is free. It is HIPAA compliant. So they do sign a BAA. And I talk directly to my bot. So I don't type. I just speak into a microphone and it sort of flows through. You hold down the function key on a Mac or Control and Windows. So there's no buttons to hold down on microphones. I got to be honest with you, I use just my webcam microphone, and it seems to work fine. All right, so that's all I have for you. So if you have any questions, please reach out to me. Next video, again, I'll show you how to install OpenClaw and start giving it a task. In this case, is chart notes.